How's it going, guys? Sorry about the crazy video scheduling. It's been very hard to actually do videos ever because I'm literally drawing in homework and basic university lifestyle, but Mandy's alive and well and talk with you guys since this is a high school video. We're going to be talking about high school life. That was like for me. High school, how do I put it into perspective? This is right when this wasn't the one I talked about before. That was Lighthouse Christian Academy. Now we're going to be talking about the actual school I stayed in for my sort of grad year, or grad anyway. Sir, I look like a mess, but yeah, what we're gonna bring up is I was completely in a native community school, so everybody related to me exactly. Well, most people related to me in that school, likely. But anyway, to describe how my grad year, grade 11 / grade 12 year was, it was very crazy. Like any high school grad year, it was crazy. A blur. But I can bring up a story that happened during my grad time. I was getting very anxious. Deciding a lot of things in my life. That was like a point I realized, what do I want to do? What do I want in life? You know, I'm still figuring it out. I mean, I'm only 22 and life is way more complicated at the moment. Yeah. But for anybody out there that has issues like this, you're not alone. Like me, you're not alone. But yeah, I was in a time during my grad year, 2016. I was completely nervous, didn't know what stuff I wanted. I was already going through so much family drama issues in my life, and the fact that I had a prom. I never thought I was actually have a prom ever because the community school wasn't exactly have the budget for proms every year, so it was very lucky for me to get a prom, and I did, and it was fun. But yeah, back to high school stuff. High school in the grad year was crazy. Made a lot of friends, made a lot of enemies. But yeah, made a lot of friends and frenemies, I call them. Didn't have any boyfriend in high school ever. Not the typical high school sweetheart, never had that. I just had a lot of temporary people in my life. A lot temporary, and I think that's what high school is about. High school is a bunch of temporary people, but that's okay. For anybody out there that feels that way, trust me, temporary is good. You may not think in the moment, you may think, oh no, I'm losing this person, but in the end you just should be glad you're losing that person, because most high schoolers I know have had at least 2 or 3 friends that they stayed friends with for the first 5 years, and then they kind of lost connection. So I'm just saying for you guys all there, just enjoy your high school life as much as possible, because university is a lot more complicated. Trust me. But yeah, anyway, from high school friends, schoolwork was crazy. I was doing okay in like English stuff, but I was like math, it was like science stuff and things I didn't like. But in the end, I ended up actually learning a lesson. I learned that I wanted to be on my own in that time. That I wanted to like leave early, wanted to leave the nest early, and I was like thinking, you know what, it's like, I really realized at this time that you're like, you know what, I should have learned how to live on my own. It might be terrifying, but in the end, you know, transferring from high school to like upgrading I did to getting into university was a lot. I mean, it was complicated, and plus I had so much drama. That was not necessarily my drama, but I had to be immersed around it constantly. But after that, you know, graduation, it was really nice. And I think for anybody that in high school that gets to their grad year should be glad they get to their grad year, because people like me have to go to upgrading adult school where you have to upgrade all your subjects that you got as high as you could. If you're wondering, I got a grade 9 math, English 11, not great, but anyway, yes, for anybody out there that feels like high school grad year is a killer, trust me, it gets worse out here. So just enjoy your time in high school and don't worry about friends. You'll make more, trust me, when you get out here. You just gotta pull through and just remember that life is a killer. It will murder you, but you get back up again, pat yourselves up, and just keep on going. But yeah. Okay. Now that I've talked about the high schooler stuff, let's talk about the people that when you've finished your grad year. I've been kind of like thinking how to make this video, like how to make it interesting, because like when you transfer from grad, usually you're already thinking of college or university, thinking of maybe getting a job after high school. People have all these motivations after high school, but when you finish graduation, lay out all your goals. What do you want? What are your ambitions? What's like the one thing you think of when you start, you know, growing up? You know, you're still in your like probably maybe 19 or 18 graduate, but think about what you want in life. But don't push so much that you end up kind of lost. Say if you take a class in English and then you end up taking it right into high school, like right out of high school to university or college, whatever you go to. Just remember, when you enter a subject, just think of what you want. Because most of the time, most people don't, and they just kind of sort of ambition like, oh yeah, I'm going to take off to this place and I'm going to get famous, or I'm going to go to this job and I'm going to make it big. You just got to think realistically for when you after you graduate. Just think of all your goals. Just for anybody out there, specifically. But yeah, that's my advice to you guys. Just wanted to add that in there. You know, just add a little nudge. Anyway, yeah, for anybody that wants to talk to more about stories like this in high school, I mean, I have had many. I'll probably bring up more in the video, but wanted to give that piece of advice to you guys before you enter college or university. Think about okay, I totally did not get to the part about stories. Brought up totally everything else, but they didn't bring up the most important story. That was my graduation. I'm going to grab my rat and emotionally talk about this. My graduation day was crazy. I remember it perfectly. It was insane. It was honestly, like, when I graduated, like, walked into the grad, where there was like tables, several on each side, representing like the people that were there and graduating, and my table was like red and black. It was amazing. I was terrified, and I remember shaking in my heels. I had like golden heels on, like little shiny ones. I had a red dress on. I still have the dress. But yeah, I remember exactly being very, very crazy. I was nervous. I had my uncle walk me down. Technically, he didn't walk me down. He ran down with me. But back to the story. Right around when everybody was getting ready to, everybody was socializing, talking, and getting ready to walk to the, they had like a big carpet and then had like decorations up. It was all nice. And I walked up onto the platform, the little area. They have like a coming out area for all the grads who are gonna walk down. I remember specifically being terrified because it was my graduation year. It was all over. High school was done, and it's time for grown-up time, and it was terrifying. But yeah, we walked up to the thing. Everybody got in, had their speakers, and I had mine. Not the greatest speaker, but yeah, and then I had my words. I talked. And I got very, very emotional because my dad, I've talked about my dad, my parents, but I haven't talked about my dad too much, but he talked about my graduation year. Like he always talked about wanting to see me graduate. Don't get emotional. But yeah, I remember that day I walked up onto they had a podium there. I talked about my dad and talked about how I was surprised I was even getting the graduation year because I didn't think I was even going to make it I wasn't even going to make it this old. I was literally had a lot of issues and I just didn't feel like I wanted to be on this earth anymore, basically. And I think most teenagers feel that way, but I felt like that way most of my life. A lot better than I was before, but it was a very, very a big accomplishment for me. It was really big. And when I graduated, when I went up and did that speech, I talked about how that day meant so much to me, that it was like a grown up time, like I need to grow up, and it was like a moment in my life where everything was changing, and it was scary change, but I knew it was happening. But yeah, I remember that day. I walked up to that podium when my grandparents and my grandpa was still alive, and had my grandparents there, I had everybody there, and it was just a great day. Walking up and dancing all the way along to my happiness. But yeah, it was crazy, and it was a lot. And it's like for anybody that's graduating this year, who's graduating, it's a really, really big accomplishment for anybody. Don't take it for granted, Don't take anything for granted. When you graduate, it's like the big thing, because, it takes so much. And especially when you think about your future. But yeah, right around after my graduation, I hugged my family. Everybody was there. Everybody was supporting me. It just felt good. Hearing stories from the graduation field trip we went to, and seeing all people graduate with me, it just felt nice. It felt nice for once to, get a head start in life. Seeing myself accomplish something. I mean, high school was crazy. It was a killer. High school was a killer. It was not nice. There were some days I just was tired of school and I wanted to just move to university. And I regret wanting to move to university that fast. But I never regret it now. But I mean, it's not that bad now because I've met so many people. Good things have happened, and things I never imagined that would happen in my life ever, because I never really expect too much from life. I've always expected life to kick me down, but life's been nice. I mean, life has its challenges, but life isn't too bad. I mean, now I'm like going through so much, but I'm realizing life is difficult, but when you make the change and you make your decisions in life and challenges and you accept them, life in the end is just is a well-rounded thing. That's a lot. Sorry to dip in so much on emotional stuff, but you know, I'm actually glad where I am right now. And that's the story, and that's the tea. Sorry, I'm like literally look so weird. Probably holding a rat. I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so this is the Harry Potter from it. Harry Potter's character. But anyway, before I get too emotional, I appreciate you guys doing this, viewing this. Yeah, we'll continue along on more stories, but yeah, this has been great. I'll continue on to my next clip. But yes, that's the story of graduation, guys. It's crazy, emotional, roller coaster, but you all will make it through. I promise you that. Alright, now we're going to get into a story from high school. My graduate year. I was debating talking about this story. It was like a very short story. To sum it up, we were going to do like this prom. When I found out we were going to do the prom, because everybody was voting on it, everybody was, and it was guaranteed we were going to do it. So I was like, okay, who do I take? Who do I take to my prom? And like a typical real life nerd, real life loser I was. Not to offend my uncle. I mean, yeah, this is where I'm bringing up to. I took my uncle to prom. Not because I didn't have guys. I mean, I could have easily asked a guy out, but it was just, I didn't have the confidence back then that I do now. I'm able to approach people a lot more better. I mean, not as great. But anyway, get off track. The story of my prom was crazy. I mean, I was totally nervous because I don't dress fancy. Never. I mean, this is seriously, what am I wearing? I am wearing a sweater. But yeah, trying to figure out how to wear stuff, dresses. I mean, their dresses are nice. I can wear them sometimes, but I was literally in pain that night, and I was literally only wearing flats and a black dress because I need to work on color. Seriously. But anyway, to bring up exactly what that situation was, I walked into there with my uncle. I had my cousins, all of us paired up together. Walked in there, was like nervous as heck, holding all of my pride together with my uncle and trying to think, do I look okay? Do I feel good? Looked at myself once and I was like, hey, I'm actually not bad looking. I have the pictures, I'll add them later to the video. But yeah, it was fun. I was terrified though, because I've never really been to a prom. Like, I've been to proms, but I've never been to my own prom, like a prom for my grad. So it was crazy. I was in pain, but I loved the dancing. It was amazingly, I mean, it was awkward. There was some awkward situations. I mean, with like being a dancer like I am, the dance moves. I mean, it was pretty good. This is a positive thing, even though it's technically it was my awkward moment in high school because I was like I'm not a great dancer. But yeah, it was a lot. I had my friends there, I had my cousins, my two cousins that came into there before my graduation. It was fun. Honestly, prom is fun if you make it fun. But if anybody doesn't get dates, remember that not every situation in high school has to be bad. I mean, I've had some bad situations in high school, some tea-sipping ones I'll talk about later in the next video. But yeah, prom was good. Got a lot of good pictures out of it. Most of my cousins taking pictures of me, but it was nice. Professional photographs. It was all fun. I mean, aside from the fact, it would have been real better if I actually asked somebody my age Not offending my uncle. Never will. But yeah, it's fun, guys. It's a fun story. And the story ended with me walking back in pain with my poor feet. I literally had like, yeah, my feet were bleeding a bit. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's my story, guys. You guys can like, subscribe, share this. Yeah, subscribe, and I'll come back with another video. Shout out to all the people that come on here to like this video, even though it was awful and cringy. I love you guys all. See you in the next video. Lil Mandy, peace out. Bye bye.